COVID-19 cases for the country surpasses 10,000. The vaccination campaign rolled out to the Family Islands, and persons 18 years and older now added to the priority groups. Good evening, everyone. I'm Jcn with your Jcn Evening News for this Monday, April 26. Thanks for joining us. The national total of COVID-19 cases well over 10,000. The Ministry of Health confirming an additional 103 cases over the weekend. A whopping 74 cases confirmed for Friday, April 23rd, and 29 confirmed for Saturday, April 24th. A total of 80 cases confirmed here in the capital, 5 with a history of travel within 14 days, 12 on Grand Bahama, 9 on Andros, and 1 on Abaco and Eleuthera, and 1 with location pending. Now, the Ministry of Health also advising that due to continuous data cleansing of the COVID-19 database and collaboration with reporting laboratories, 86 additional confirmed COVID-19 cases were added to the total number of cases, 32 cases in New Providence and 54 cases in Grand Bahama. Health officials say the 32 cases in New Providence were originally tested between January and mid-April 2021, and the confirmed cases for Grand Bahama were originally tested between September to December of 2020. The national count now stands at 10,165. There's now 594 active cases in country, 49 of which are in hospital. 45 patients are considered moderately ill and 4 are in intensive care units. Health officials also confirming the unfortunate death of a 55-year-old man of New Providence who died on April 17th. 2 additional deaths are under investigation, pushing that total to 31. 83 cases recovered over the weekend, pushing total recoveries to 9,298. To date, 85,055 tests have been completed. The first doses of the COVID-19 AstraZeneca vaccine have been rolled out to various Family Islands. On Monday morning, Prime Minister Dr. Hubert Minnis, United States Chargé d'Affaires Usha Pitts, National COVID-19 Vaccine Consultative Committee Chair Dr. Mercelin Dalregis, and other government and health officials met at the Odyssey International Airport for the launch of the mission. The U.S. and the Bahamas joining forces for a joint 5-day mission to distribute the vaccine doses to 8 Family Islands, including Mayaguana, Inagua, Crooked Island, Acklins, Cat Island, Bimini, Eleuthera, and Long Island, starting today through Friday, April 30th. The U.S. Embassy in a statement says this joint effort highlights just how deep and how wide the partnership between the Bahamas and the U.S. goes. The first stop for the rollout of the doses was Mayaguana. The U.S. Embassy partnering with Rhode Island National Guard, the National Vaccine Committee, the Ministry of Health, and health providers on the ground on the various islands to carry out this joint mission. The Rhode Island National Guard provided the aircraft for the mission, a C-12 plane capable of carrying 1,650 pounds of passenger and cargo plus air crew. U.S. Northern Command, NORTHCOM, pitched in with a donation of specialized coolers valued at $40,000 for properly transmitting vaccine doses and keeping them viable. In a statement from the Vaccine Committee, starting tomorrow, April 27th, residents on Exuma, mainland Exuma, Staniel Key, Black Point, and Farmers Key, Cat Island, San Salvador, and the Berry Islands will receive the dose. On Wednesday, April 28th, vaccinations will continue on mainland Exuma, on mainland Eleuthera and Spanish Wells, Long Island, and Rum Key, and on Friday, April 30th, on Bimini. Now, to make an appointment to receive the COVID-19 vaccine, you're asked to visit vax.gov.bs, and to view the full Family Island schedule, including vaccination site, locations, and times, visit opm.gov.bs. A Bahamas government-issued ID is required at check-in at the vaccination site. COVID-19 vaccinations now open to all those 18 years of age and older. The National COVID-19 Vaccine Consultative Committee, in a release on Sunday, says this applies to New Providence, Grand Bahama, and all Family Islands. Well, JCN's news team spoke with a few young persons waiting in line to receive their first dose of the AstraZeneca vaccine at Loyola Hall on Gladstone Road. The first being 19-year-old Nathan Pearson, who's set to leave for flight school in the coming months.
Talked it over with a lot of people. My friends, they want to joke around and say you turn into, mutate or, stuff like that. But in doing my personal research, because I realized that you can't listen to what people say, I did the research and I find that the benefits outweighs the risk.
We also spoke with 27-year-old Precious Sands, who works in the retail industry, who says she's taking the vaccine as an extra line of protection against the virus.
At first I was a little skeptical about it, but then even though it may have a side effect as well as it may not, so it's just a little 50-50 chance.
The administration of vaccines continue this week at other vaccine sites, including Church of God of Prophecy on East Street, St. Anselm's Catholic Church, Bernard Road, and the Susan J. Wallace Community Center in Freeport, Grand Bahama. According to the vaccine committee, to date, 25,692 doses of the AstraZeneca vaccine have been administered on New Providence, Grand Bahama, Eleuthera, and Abaco. The administration of the second doses is scheduled to begin on Monday, May 10th. Second dose appointments can be booked at any of the available vaccination centers. An individual is not required to receive their second dose at the same vaccination site or island that they received their first dose. Amidst the growing number of COVID-19 cases in country, there is a growing number of public schools here in the country confirming positive COVID-19 cases. However, educational officials are not worried about a possible outbreak within schools. Here's Laurencia Smith with that report.
Anatole Rogers Senior High School, D.W. Davis Junior High School here in New Providence, and Central Andros High School in Central Andros all confirmed positive cases of COVID-19. This coming from Director of Education Marcellus Taylor, who shared this information with the press during a sideline interview on Monday. These schools joined 8 other schools, all here in the capital, that confirmed cases of the virus last week. When asked if the ministry was worried about an outbreak within the schools, Director Taylor says this.
Today, we are not worried about the cases that we have seen because we do not feel that it's spreading within the school, and we don't feel that it's a situation of outbreaks. Of course, this is a day-to-day situation, so if we do get the sense that it has now shifted from the case here and there from school to school to more issue of spread within the school, we'll likely take a different course of action.
Director Taylor notes that a grade level at Sims Primary School in Long Island has been placed on quarantine following advisement from the COVID-19 surveillance team. Students in that particular grade will take part in classes via the learning management system while in quarantine. Now, in February, resumption of face-to-face learning took place on all public school campuses. The director acknowledged that the face-to-face learning method is the preferred method by the ministry, and here's why.
Even though the ministry has gone and provided a lot of tablets and a lot of resources and even printed materials for those who didn't have internet access, we know that when we are not face-to-face, the engagement by students is not as high as it would ordinarily be. And even when there is engagement, because it's not necessarily a structured environment where they are not necessarily engaging in the process as they ought to.
When asked what contingency plans does educational officials have in place if cases continue to rise, especially with the national exams right around the corner, the director says this.
We are in the process of looking at that a little bit more strongly. At the time when we determined to go ahead with the 2021 sitting and the plans we put in place, they were largely based on what happened last time. But we want to look at some other ways in which we might be able to make some accommodations.
As it stands now, schools will remain open until the ministry deems it unsafe. I'm Laurencia Smith for Jcn News.
You're watching JCN News. Stay with us.